Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm taking a look at the brand new Bose SoundLink Flex, and it's been a while since Bose released a portable Bluetooth speaker. I'm pretty excited about it, so let's just jump right into it. Alright, so here's everything that came in the box here. We have some quick start information, some safety information, a USB Type-C to Type-A charging cable, but I'm going to put all this off to the side and let's check out the brand new Bose SoundLink Flex here. So first off, let's talk about the body here. It's refreshing that Bose didn't go with the classic cylinder shape that all the other speaker companies out there sort of adopted. JBL, Sony, their latest portable Bluetooth speakers are very cylindrical, and this is shaped more like a pill. The dimensions here are 3.6 inches by 7.9 inches by 2.1 inches. And it weighs about 1.3 pounds, so it has a little bit of heft to it, but nothing too crazy. Now let's compare the size of the SoundLink Flex to the JBL Flip 5 here. If I stack them up right against each other, you can see the size differences, and if I hold them upright like this, you can see the SoundLink Flex is slightly taller than the Flip 5. And then from the side here, you can see the SoundLink Flex is flatter because it has that pill design versus the round cylinder shape of the Flip 5. And the same deal here with the Sony XB23, and I'm going to stack these on top of each other. The Sony is much longer. And then side by side, let me pop up the camera a little bit, and then the side view, you can see the size comparison right there. And holding it in my hands, it feels very, very durable, very rugged. Wrapped around the sides and the back of the speaker, they have this soft touch silicone that feels really nice. And on the face of the speaker, they gave us a powder coated steel grille. Now Bose claims that the powder coat won't peel or flake, and it's resistant to rust corrosion and UV light. Now I've only had this speaker a week, so if that's true, it's still yet to be seen. But if I have to compare this to the quality of other Bose speakers, I don't think we have anything to worry about. And one thing I want to say about this body, as nice and durable and rugged as it feels, this soft touch silicone right here is a garbage magnet. I'm getting fuzz and little pieces of lint that just cling to this stuff. And this thing is about a week old, and I'm constantly picking off fuzzes from the back of the silicone here. Now I can't find any information about the impact resistance of the speaker, but Bose claims it can take a beating. But I still wish I had an exact number. I'd like to know how far I can drop this and it would still be okay. Now continuing on with the durability of this body here, Bose claims that this is IP67 dust and waterproof, which means it's completely dustproof and is submersible up to 3 feet, up to 30 minutes. My only concern with that is this USB Type-C charging port right here doesn't have a flap. Now, I'm not too worried about water getting in this port and shorting out the speaker. I'm more worried about sand and dirt and mud getting into the port and clogging it up. But one nice thing about this speaker is it floats. So if you do accidentally drop this into a pool or the ocean, you don't have to worry about having to fish it out of the water. Now let's talk about the built-in lithium-ion rechargeable battery. You get about 12 hours of playtime on a 4-hour charge, but that's playing your music at very low volume. In my personal test, I got about 7 hours of playtime at 75%. Now let's talk about this Position IQ technology. Bose has a built-in sensor inside and automatically adjusts to however it's oriented to optimize the sound. Meaning you can have this standing upright like this, laying on its back, or hanging from the utility strap here, you're still going to get the same crisp, clear sound as you would if you were just listening to it like this. Now I'll be testing Position IQ a little bit later on in my sound test. Alright, so let's talk about these buttons that are on the top of the speaker here. The first button here is the power button, one touch on and one touch off, which I'm not really the biggest fan of that in a portable Bluetooth speaker. Only because since it's portable, I'm going to be holding this a lot and it just takes one hit to turn it on and one hit to turn it off. I prefer to hold it down, long press to hold it on, and long press to turn it off. That way I can't just accidentally turn it off while I'm holding it. Also, it tells you the remaining battery life every time you turn on the speaker.
Battery 100%.
That's awesome. The next buttons here are fairly obvious. This is volume down and volume up. And then at the very end, we have our Bluetooth Connect button. And the only buttons with an LED light are the power button and the Bluetooth button here. In the button dead center here is our multi-function button. Tap it once to play and one more time to pause the music. Then you can double tap to skip forward and then triple tap to skip backwards. Now the buttons here are pretty nice. I don't really have a problem with them, except for the fact that sometimes you do have to press fairly hard to get them to work. Now I do understand why they did that, because since it's portable, I'm going to be holding it and it's going to be on a backpack banging around. That just makes it harder to press any one of these buttons while the music is on. But that just further proves my point on why I don't like a one touch on and one touch off power button. Yes, you do have to press the button harder than normal to activate it, but I still would like a long press instead of a short press, at least for the power button. Now, as far as I can tell, it has a single driver underneath this steel grille here. And I say as far as I can tell because at the time of this video, I can't find any information about it online, except for this little animation that you see right here on the Bose website. So the speaker breaks apart, I can see one single driver and dual radiators. So if that illustration is correct, we're gonna have a radiator right here under the steel grille and one radiator right here that's downward firing. Now it does feature a microphone, so you can still take phone calls while you're listening to music. Now I tested this out and it doesn't really have the best sound quality in the world, at least listening to a voice through this speaker. It's not terrible, but I've heard much better, and I still appreciate that it has that function, because there are other companies out there that just omit that feature altogether. I'm looking right at you, JBL. Another feature that's confusing is it has Bluetooth 4.2. Now I'm not sure why Bose decided to go 4.2 when 5.0 or 5.1 is available, but because it has Bluetooth 4.2, you only get about 30 feet or about 9 meters of range. After about 30 feet, if it's connected to your phone, the music starts to cut out a little bit. Where if they would have used Bluetooth 5.0, you'd get a much farther range. And if you're anything like me, your Bluetooth speaker is connected to your cell phone about 90% of the time. But within that 30 feet, I had no dropouts, static, or anything like that. Now this is compatible with the Bose Connect app, and that's exactly how I connected this to my cell phone. And if you don't want to use the app, you can still do it the old school way and just hold down the Bluetooth button here. Now the good news is if you have other Bose Bluetooth speakers, they will connect to the SoundLink Flex here via party mode. So you can connect directly to other SoundLink Flexes, other Bose Bluetooth speakers, or their soundbars. And since this is a mono speaker, you can pair two of these up for stereo sound, one left channel and one right channel. And it's really easy to connect everything through the Bose Connect app. And if you guys were wondering if this had a 3.5mm jack, it doesn't, which makes the decision of giving us Bluetooth 4.2 even more confusing. So I'm going to start the sound test shortly, and I'm going to have this positioned a few different ways. On the bottom here, you can see those little silicone feet. You can have it sitting upright just like this. Now on the back of the speaker, we have two larger feet here and two smaller feet right there, so we can have it laying on his back like that. Or because it has this utility strap, it can just hang from something just like this. And they say because it has a sensor inside, it's going to automatically orient itself and adjust itself to give us the best possible sound. Now I've tried this off screen and it actually works pretty well. Now I've had the SoundLink Flex for about a week now, and I just want to say that this might be the best sounding small Bluetooth speaker that I've ever heard. And yes, that is a bold claim, but I am going to stand behind that. And maybe you agree with me and maybe you won't agree with me after the sound test, but this speaker absolutely blows me away. So we'll discuss this more after the sound test, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. So I just want to remind everybody that this is just a sound test, more of a sound example. You're not going to get the same quality listening to it through my camera, through YouTube, as I am right here. That being said, I'm going to put this about 2 feet from my microphone, and I'm going to start at 50%, standing upright like this. And after a little bit, I'm going to start changing the orientation, but let's just go right to the song. right, so let's do one more partial song here so we get a nice idea of different songs. So I'm gonna start this about 75%. All right, so let's discuss the sound that comes out of this little speaker. It is absolutely mind-blowing. So first off, the lows just smacks you right in the face with that deep, rich bass. That's one of the first things I noticed when I first took this out of the box and started listening to it, was just how great the bass sounds. And the nice thing is that bass doesn't overwhelm or overtake any of the mids or highs at all. In fact, the mid-range in this speaker is some of the best I've ever heard in this size of a portable Bluetooth speaker. Off camera, I listen to all genres of music to try to get a feel for the speaker. Rock, hip hop, classical, country, you name it. And for me, rock and hip hop is where this bad boy really shines. And that's not taking anything away from classical or country. They all sound great on the speaker, but when you listen to rock music with the drums and the guitar and the bass, the mid-range vocals that just crystal clear, just so crispy, it's mind-blowing. And obviously hip-hop's gonna shine as well through this speaker just because of how great the lows sound. But the lows, mids, and highs all seem to work together, and even at 100%, which is very rare, nothing gets distorted at all. You can hear every instrument, every drum beat, all the vocals crystal clear through this bad boy. And as I said, that's pretty rare because with a speaker this size, you just wouldn't expect that. Usually you get distortion at 100%, and I'm just not getting that here. And let's talk about this position IQ where you can have it upright on its back or hanging. And honestly, I thought it sounded the best when the back was flat against the table, because now we have that rear firing radiator right here bouncing off the table, and I thought it sounded great. Not that it didn't sound great upright or hanging, but I thought it sounded best while the back was against the table. So honestly, we've waited a long time for Bose to release another Bluetooth speaker, and I think they just knocked it out of the park with the SoundLink Flex. The quality is there. It feels super durable, super rugged with this soft touch silicone and powder coated steel grille. They gave us a fairly durable utility strap here that you can just put on a carabiner and hang it wherever you want. 12 hours of playtime, IP67 dust and waterproof rated. Yeah, they only gave us Bluetooth 4.2. Is that a deal breaker with the sound that comes out of this? Absolutely not. There's no 3.5mm auxiliary jack, but I personally can live without it. I do wish they give us a little flap here to cover up the USB Type-C port, just so I don't get any sand or dirt in there. I hate blowing that stuff out of there. But other than that, I think Bose just released a damn near perfect portable Bluetooth speaker here in the SoundLink Flex. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the Bose SoundLink Flex? Now I picked this up for about 150 bucks, so if you guys want to check it out for yourself, I will have links below in my description box. And also let me know if you've picked one up or plan on picking it up, what you think. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And go!